Hey everybody, it's John here with National Sports Entertainment, and it does look like the Phillies is going good, so that worked out. I'm glad for everybody that went with them. And I know a lot of people are liking the Guardians in general, and today, and I do think Game 1 would be a good game to have a lot of these underdogs win. The only reason I'm leaning Yankees is because the Guardians and the Phillies had an upset, as did, I think it was Seattle, so the odds of 3 road upsets starting off the series, pretty slim. Vegas usually likes to even that out. There's a lot of money on the underdogs in these series too, because of course you have people that want to get good odds. Now there is probably a lot of money pounding the Yankees. I'm not saying Cleveland can't win. I don't think they get swept. But I am just going to take the Yankees in this game here, just because I know they won't get swept. So we're obviously going to be paying more. I'm not doing 1.5, at least not. I thought about it, then I decided it's not worth it. So we're just going to do this to win 20. Okay, we're not going to do a lot, because you can see how much higher the bet is. We're almost paying 2-1. And we can afford to do that because we won 41 off of our Phillies bet. And of course, should they not win, we will double down on Game 2. Now, the reason I picked them and isn't as relevant to this, but like the title says, I think there was a chosen team to win the World Series, and it's right here. Why the Yankees were chosen to beat the Dodgers in the World Series. And I want to go into the numbers here. I think you will find them interesting, and that's why I have them. So right off the bat, this would be their 41st World Series appearance. And they pushed the number 4, 1, and 14 so hard in baseball. It's just a number. You'll see it comes up many times. Like 1941 was the year that they had Roger Maris break that record. So anyway, in 1941, they also appeared against the Dodgers. They appeared 99 years ago. It was called the old Subway Series. It was when they went against the New York Giants. And of course, 99 is Judge. The Giants won that series 4-1. They appeared 61 years ago. Now we know the number of 61 in Maris and Judge, and they're in 63. 63 being their record and his record, and 61, of course, being Maris and Judge. They went in 61, and they went against the Dodgers. That was 41 years ago. They faced them in 63. Judge hit his 61st home run, as I had said before, with a .314 batting average. Last time the Yankees appeared in the World Series is 14 years ago, so an inverse of 4-1, which was also their longest drought. They last faced the Dodgers in the series 41 years ago, and that was in 1981. In 1981, the Dodgers won 4-2. 4-2 reverse 2-4 JR, Jackie Robinson. And we got Roger Maris, who debuted the year the Dodgers moved to LA. Roger Maris Jr., JR. His son's been making the rounds. Yankees went to the World Series in 57 when Maris was on Cleveland, which is interesting, playing them tonight. Yankees, they're 57-24 at home, and of course that's an inverse of 75 and 42. These numbers, to me, the 5s, the 7s, just being reversed, just come up. Now, why is the 75 number important? Well, in the Golden State Warriors video, I did one, I think it was Steph Curry chosen, something like that. I went into why 75 was important. They were talking about 75 because it was the 75th year anniversary of the NBA. And sure enough, now the Warriors are 7-5 in the finals, and a bunch of nonsense like that with all these 7s and 5s. So, you see it very, very often, and that's essentially what I've noticed here. They've gone to 75. Obviously, 41's a giant one, 61. But 75 years ago is the anniversary of Jackie. It's also when the Yankees met the Dodgers. Back to Aaron Judge. They went in 1999. It's also been 100. Now, this isn't a symbolic number that I've seen like 100 times, but I do find it odd. 101 is a very full circle number. So this will be their 101st year since a pennant, all the way back in, or since first pennant, I'm sorry, all the way back in 1920, I forget exactly what year it was. Long time. So I found that interesting. Obviously, I found the correlation between these two. I could be wrong, but one represented New York, Aaron Judge, and then we have Aaron Donald, 99, representing the Rams, LA. just weird. Maybe that one's a reach. This one, I didn't even write myself. I actually read it off of the Yankees page. When they were talking about the Yankees and how they won in 1922, and 22 is another interesting number, you notice they actually said this. They wrote it's their 5th and 6th years, 9th overall versus versus the Dodgers in 41. So they got that 5-9 in there, which is interesting. Again, 5-9, 9-5, very symbolic number. That was the night Coolio died at 59. And if you go and check like Coolio death, you'll see him wearing a number 22 Los Angeles Angels jersey. So again, just to me, seems like a little more calms. Maybe he was sacrificed. Now, when did Maris debut? He was 22. He hit a 61 when he was 4 years in, and he was 26. And that was in 61. Now, this is where it gets interesting. We got 2-6, right? Judge's birthday, 4-2-6. Maris hit it 4 years in at 26. So, that's not all related to the World Series, this one. But I'm just saying I think the Yankees and Dodgers were chosen in general. That year, which is pretty interesting too, 59 years ago, the Dodgers record was 99-63. And then they went 22 years ago, and it was a Subway Series. This was when the Yankees went against the Mets. So we had the old Subway Series against the Giants, the Subway Series against the Mets. Then 61 years ago, as I said, we beat the Dodgers. I put 66 in here because it's an inverse of 99, not as much like a reverse of 99, whatever you want to call it. And it's just a very symbolic number for them. Now, we've talked about the old Subway Series and the Subway Series. What I found interesting, I've been watching a commercial on Subway, and they keep talking about a new Subway Series. Just very odd. No reason for it. To me, they're telling us we're going to get formerly Brooklyn and New York. I could be wrong, but Brooklyn and the Bronx, it's been a while, and people will be talking about that forever. Now, here are some narratives that I think support this theory. One is Judge will be a free agent, and a pennant with the home run is going to really push him in the free agency. Not having the pennant, I think, hurts not that he's not going to get a lot of money, but it kind of hurts his free agent talk. By the way, I think we're going to see the same thing we always see. Judge is going to get a record deal. He's going to go to a team, and he's going to do average. And the Yankees are going to bring somebody in who did great last year, like Shohei Ohtani or somebody, and they're going to play like shit. They do it every year. It's really funny. It's like there's a rule. Only X amount of Yankees can have good years. I remember when they brought in Teixeira, it happened. Then it happened when they brought in all the pitchers. CC Sabathia started pitching like shit. I think they brought in Kevin Youkilis, and he failed. But yeah, I've noticed that with the Yankees. They'll bring in like a couple guys. Even this year, they have, I don't think Chris Bryant, or not Bryant, I don't think Anthony Rizzo and the other guy, Stanton, are playing anywhere near as good as they did on the Cubs and Marlins. But back to the point, these numbers I don't think can accidentally repeat themselves. I've gone into 41 and just the symbolism of that number in general. 3, 4, 1, 3, 1, 4. All those numbers are important. But when you see that many 14s and 41s, to me it's very interesting. Now I get it's baseball, and you have stuff like records, that like series numbers and strike and ball numbers where you're going to see the 4 and 1 more. That's why if you notice all these aren't even related outside of 1 or 2. These aren't even related to series numbers or pitches. These are just related to years because that's what they go by. They go by years. And here are the redemptions that I was looking into. Obviously, the New York and LA markets are being hit hard. That's why we see the Giants doing pretty good, the Jets doing pretty good. That's why we see almost every New York team in there. I expect to see the Knicks have a good record this year. The Nets as well. Vegas likes the Nets this year. So we look at the Rams, the Warriors, the Niners. These are two markets. I should have wrote California, but it's New York and California are definitely going to be appealed to. Now, another narrative is the Astros. I said this a few years ago. I thought they were going to have the Yankees pound the Dodgers in the championship because the Astros, because the Astros got caught cheating. But they didn't. They just, like, 2 years later, I think the Dodgers beat them. But I think that they do get beat pretty bad. The Dodgers I'm talking about. And I think it's penance. You know, they're going from penance to penance. So I think they're going to get pounded they might get pounded out in this round by Seattle. If not, the Yankees will take liberties and pound them out. And again, it's because they cheated. So you're going to have the teams people should have had, I feel like. Yankees, Dodgers meet up. And because it's been a while. And I think it'd be interesting to see Freeman up against the Braves. So that to me, that's a story that writes itself. And that's why the Dodgers have to get in there. I won't lie, I looked at Atlanta. There's some interesting commonalities there. Just with LA Dodgers and New York Yankees, I saw so many commonalities that I genuinely believe we are getting a new, quote, Subway Series between the former Brooklyn Dodgers and New York Yankees. I think the Yankees win it. I think it's all been predetermined based off of all these numbers. But that's my opinion. I could be wrong. But I thought you guys would find it interesting. I try not to just cram shit into a gematria calculator because we'd be 90% wrong if we used gematria all the time. Not that it's not there. It's just that gematria is so hard to crack that even if you crack it, we might be looking at another code. It's multi-coded. But to me, these are pretty in-your-face numbers. I thought you guys might find them interesting. And that's really all I got. As you can see, I like the Yankees just to win today. They're not getting swept, in my opinion, and I'd be weary of picking the 3 or 4 upsets in a day. Not that it can happen, but especially on the road, a lot of times they like to balance that out. So everybody, I want to get this out so you can pick on that game if you want, and pick on the series. They might not let us until the end of today's games to pick on the series. But I'm definitely going to be locking in those teams. So take care, everyone, and happy earnings.